Execution failed. Insufficient user activity logged.
The Bible is our power. We must repent and come back to what this Bible says.
Christ says it's only for the lost sheep. We're the lost sheep.
So blacks Latinos, come on. It's high time we are waking out of sleep.
He allowed us to go into slavery for breaking his commandments. We are in poverty because we broke God's commandments.
Marriage, according to the Most High, is undefiled. It's a beautiful thing. This is something many blacks and Latinos, we have trouble with that word, marriage.
Israel United in Christ took the streets to pick up trash into the religious organization, rented 2 dumpsters to get as much garbage out of neighborhoods that they can manage.
Wow.
We shalom, shalom. We in the building.
That's right.
That's
Okay,
right.
you came out the gate with the
That's
bomb.
right. That's how it's supposed to
Yo.
My man say it feels good to be home.
be. That's right. Welcome to the
That's right. That's right.
The Avengers podcast. Hey, we got always on time.
Hey.
The real Manataya. Hey,
That's
shalom,
right.
shalom. Most High in Christ bless to all you Avengers that showed up
Right.
to fight late night crime.
Late.
Yeah, I like that. He said late night crime.
Late night crime.
Late night crime.
That's what we do. We fight it. Late night crime of Christianity and all other religions. Man, I am ZB Real. All right, aka Captain Zakar to my whatever side he might be on. Go ahead, Cap.
Go ahead, Cat Matt Thus.
Check. Hey, shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless. Hey, Captain Mattathias here. Hey, we back. All praise to the Most High.
That's right.
Hey, this is the official OC, Captain OC out of Orlando, Florida, ready to get it in. Let's go.
Yo, this Big Judd, aka. Well, I don't know if that's an AK. I think I gotta say this Captain Yadin, aka Big Judd.
Right.
And we back for another episode of the Avengers podcast. So button up your seat belts and all that good stuff. We about to get it in.
That's right.
Hey, it's Captain Azariah, aka Z3 in the building. Hey, listen, what you say? We fighting crime in the
Late night
hours.
crime.
The Avengers, we back.
Hey, Captain Matt, aka 504 Matt, we back at it again another week to get it in.
All
Hey,
praise
you know
to
what?
the Most
I just
High.
thought about this, y'all. I remember most of us was on Clubhouse initially. So all praise. We back again.
That's
we
right.
back at it.
All
Late
praise
night.
to the Most High. All right. Hey, for those that may not know, we do got a new time that we going on. It's 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But make sure you donate to the Booster Club. You can also text to give to the Booster Club at 646-982-3858. Your donations are appreciated. They help the prophets go worldwide and teach this glorious gospel. So what's tonight's topic? The real OC or the official OC, whatever the hell your Avenger.
Wait. Before we get to that, what's up with your background, OC?
What happened? What's wrong?
When is it gonna be black?
Right. It's white.
Are you racist?
Is this a race thing? Is this a race thing, guys?
Yes.
I thought
Everybody
yeah,
has similar backgrounds.
by their skin color, but by their nationality. That's what I said.
That's great. So what's tonight's topic we got here?
Tonight's
All
topic
for
all for the love of white Jesus. All for the love of white Jesus.
I did it for the love of white Jesus.
the official OC. Where this come from, man? What inspired this title?
Well, what we see is a lot of hate. You know, we're the Avengers, and what it comes down to is our people are a reflection of their God, and everything that they do is what they've been taught. So we gonna show y'all the people been upset, they've been mad. Y'all know we blitzed the church. What's his name? Pastor Pam has went into hiding, And now all of his soft followers have shown their faces, and we're seeing the things that they are regurgitating, the doctrines that they believe in. It's all the same white doctrine that the white man taught them. So we're gonna get into it tonight, and we're gonna expose that on y'all.
Hey Cap, that really is diabolical. He really went into hiding. He has not been seen for weeks.
Weeks, man.
You said he ain't been
Somebody
seen.
put an
Let me
APB
see.
out on him.
I got the APB here. I'm gonna bring it up for everybody to see, man. If y'all have seen this person anywhere on your streets, where that thing at, man? Where you at? Let me see. Bear with me, y'all. Yeah, here it go, right here. If y'all seen him, make sure y'all put this up somewhere so somebody can go ahead. Yeah, if y'all seen that, man, y'all let us know, because we looking to cast down all his false doctrines that he be putting out there.
Right.
He ain't been seen since IUIC. He called him out. We showed up to his outside his church down the street.
Right.
Hey, why they got my man Captain Manuel looking like that?
Hey, you need to turn your phone to the side or something.
Hey, Captain,
switch that up, bro. They got him looking crazy, man.
He got a keto camera. He got a
Take
the lock off,
take the orientation lock off
right now, bro.
Take the orientation lock off. He said he got a keto camera.
There you go.
There we go.
All praises. Yeah, that fixed the headroom. Yeah. There you go.
Bless your heart. Hey, man, he fighting crime any way he can.
There you go.
Here. He's here, man.
Hey, he don't got a solid white background either, though. So.
Hey, he's matching up. Let's see, man. So, hey, let's get into it, man. We got to go. We got, we got back against the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Also, but so let's set the premise for tonight. Give me Jeremiah 9:3 real quick. Let's bring this out real quick before we get started. Because you just brought up about Pastor Pam, and as the judges, so are his officers. So he's went into hiding. So the rest of these men, they ain't about nothing either. They trying to show up now. They ain't about nothing. Read that for me, please.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 9 and verse 3. And they bend their tongues like their bow for lies.
For lies, read.
But they are not valiant for the truth upon the earth.
Hold on, what did it say? They are what?
They are not valiant for the truth upon the earth.
Read.
For they proceed from evil to evil. And they know not me, saith the Lord.
These people don't know the Lord, and they are not valiant for the truth. So understand, everybody that we're about to show y'all tonight, this is who they are according to the Bible. Let's get into it. ZB Real.
There first.
Hebrew Israelites, like they selling Cutco knives or Cutco knives of Christianity. In other words, they find really young, gullible people. And a lot of times, it's young black men. Pause.
Hey, ZB Real, you showed me a age groupings of who we are now.
Oh man,
we got the young, gullible people. ZB Real,
right.
Are you 22? Wet behind the ears?
Nah, man. Nah, we ain't there no more. We passed that. We decade or two past that.
All of us, even God is with us, ain't even in the 20s no more, man. He old, man.
Right.
So this talk about we just young people that don't know. Like, no, I've been doing this for 13 years of my life. Right. Really, I've been doing this for a long time. You men on the stage, we've been doing this a long time. So that we just this a reaction, and we just going through a phase. You can't say that when the leaders of the organization are decades into this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody told Malcolm X, he just going through a phase, or what's my man name that's 90 years old?
Farrakhan.
Nobody telling Farrakhan, you just going through no, when you 30, 40 years into something, but black people don't understand that. They don't understand that at all.
Yeah. That's a good point. Why you look at us and he think all of us look young because we don't eat that pork. We ain't.
There you go.
We ain't out eating the foul food. So the Lord is keeping us fresh and in shape, and it looks different. Look, everybody out there look young to them, but then they how it go. Go ahead, 504.
Hey, really? He just insulted every black person.
There you go.
When you think about it, he said, "Oh, the black people that listen to them are young and gullible." He just basically insulted everybody in a whole generation of black people.
Right.
You know, when you really look at it, when you look at our black leaders, all our revolutionaries, they were all young.
Yeah.
They
There
were
you
all
go.
young
There
leaders.
you go.
When you really look at it, so you know he really doesn't know anything himself. And at the end of the day, all these pastors want to know, what are we doing to attract
Yep.
young black
There you go.
men to
There
come
you
out and
go.
put in work? But it's not just young black men. We have older, not gonna say what's the word, mature older
there you
men
go.
that's trying to do this work too. That's like, even through when we go look at some of the physical aspects of what we do, they're like, listen, I may not be able to do that, but let me do something, right? This is for everybody, and they just can't stand it, so they got to try and find anything they can say to try and defame the work that we putting in.
Big Judd, that's a great point. What you just said about most revolutionaries. I don't got their ages, but Fred Hampton, I know for a fact he was 21. So you're telling me because of his age, he wasn't able to lead or be a great leader to his people? Martin Luther King, I think they killed him before he was in his 40s. I know Malcolm X wasn't in his 40s or 50s. So all these men, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Lumumba, all of these men were younger men, because you know what happens when you get old? You sell out. I read many books about older black men and that have been leaders. You know what happens after 20, 30 years? They realize ain't no pension in this thing for civil rights movements. And they sell out to the people. That's why everybody in the Christian church now, what? Because it's a money grab. They hate to see young men that are standing up for their people. They don't understand it.
Hey, speaking of age, can we get Luke chapter 3, verse 21?
Bring it out.
All right, Luke chapter 3, verse 21. We're going to read down just a little bit. These people don't know the Bible, nor do they read it. The reason why they have their thought process, their ideology, is because of what they seen on TV and what they heard from the white man. White man is their God. You understand? They don't care about what's actually written in the book. We're gonna read about our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. Don't forget, he's the greatest. He's the greatest revolutionary to ever walk the face of the earth. All right, Luke chapter 3, verse 21. Watch this.
The book of Luke chapter 3 and verse 21.
Go ahead.
Now, when all the people were baptized, it came to pass that Jesus also being baptized and praying, the heaven was opened. And the Holy Ghost descended in a bodily shape like a dove upon him.
Come on.
And a voice came from heaven which said, "Thou art my beloved Son. In thee I am well pleased."
Right. So this is what? The voice that came from heaven, the voice of the Lord, signifying that the Holy Spirit that fell upon his Son, he agreed upon it. You understand? And he gave him charge. He gave him dominion. You understand? He gave him all power on the earth. Read some more.
And Jesus himself began to be about 30 years of age.
That don't sound too old to me.
Right.
That sounds like a young man right there.
Right.
It said he began to be what age?
30 years of age.
30 years of age. Read some more.
Being, as was supposed, the son of Joseph, which was the son of Heli, which was the son of Mephat.
Bishop Kanai always mentions this truth is a young man's game.
Yeah.
You understand? You got to be able-bodied to go from country to country, from city to city, from blitz this week, blitz that next. You understand? You always got things going. Now, I will say, although our elders have been in this truth for over 30 years, hey, they still operate like they got the young spirit. You wouldn't even be able to tell that Bishop is an aged man in his truth because of the work ethic that he does. But understand this, the Lord, he said he's going to pour his spirit upon all flesh. You understand? According to Joel, the 2nd chapter. Hey, so these Christians, what you realize, like Judd always say, these Christians are atheists. They don't believe in the Bible, first and foremost. They go off of feeling and emotions. But their real issue is their hatred for Christ, who was 30 when he started his ministry.
Hey, check this out.
Heavy
Go
point.
ahead, God with us. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to bag Captain Matt up real quick. Go to John 8 real quick. Dealing with Christ. Like you said, it all brought down to their hate of Christ. And we really truly following the footsteps of Christ all the way. He went through the same exact thing when he walked the earth. All right, John 8, verse 54.
The book of John, chapter 8 and verse 54. Jesus answered, if I honor myself, my honor is nothing. It is my Father that honoreth me, of whom ye say that he is your God.
Read.
Yet ye have not known him, but I know him. And if I should say I know him not, I shall be a liar like unto you. But I know him and keep his saying.
So Christ is rebuking the elders at that time, putting them on blast like we do, right? We go and rebuke these so-called leaders in our communities that failed our people. So Christ did the same thing, but let's see how they responded to try to discredit him. Read on.
Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad.
Come on.
Then said the Jews unto him, thou art not yet 50 years old.
Boy,
and hast thou...
you're still young and tender. Boy, what the hell? Ain't nobody studying what you talking about. Christ was in his 30s. It was like, you ain't even 50 years old yet. Go ahead.
And hast thou seen Abraham?
Right. So they tried to use that to say, we not listening to what you talking about. They tried to throw his age at him to discredit him. But that was the Son of God.
Right.
And that's when the Spirit was upon him to do the work that he was doing. Like you said, you got to be a young, able-bodied to go and do all this work.
Hey, would y'all mention that about young, able bodies? Let me watch this. I pulled it up about the average age of Black revolutionaries.
Oh, yeah, I did. I got you, Cap.
Okay, pull it up for me, man.
All right.
So you see there, it says during the Civil Rights era, which primarily unfolded, unfolded from the mid-1950s to the late 1960s, many key figures were in their late 20s to early 40s.
That's heavy, Cap. That's heavy.
Watch
Martin was 26 years old.
26.
Malcolm X was in his early 30s. That's what you say. It's a young man. It's a young man's battle.
Cap, it takes me to a quote. It takes me to a quote I heard. A lot of people say they're willing to die for their people, but how many are willing to live for their people? We giving our best prime years of our life to the Lord. Yep. How many people you know in the Christian church, they come in when they old? I remember being in the church and you see a new person in the church and they 60, 70, or they just never really been there.
I like
they show
to give
up.
my life to God.
There you go. There you go. You got the auntie that just finally repented, or the uncle that
smoked out. He smoked out, doped out, cracked out. Now he won't give his life to God. Who see
right?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Bro.
Right? No, ain't nothing wrong with it. But we giving a prime of our life to the Lord. Yeah, and they hate that.
Yep.
They hate that with a passion.
Hey, read it. Go ahead, OC.
No, I was just gonna say. Go ahead, Cat.
And the way we know they hate that is because I forgot who said it, but they always mention what are the Black Hebrew Israelites doing that are attracting young Black men because they trying to do it, but they can't.
Yep.
Go ahead, Cap.
Now, what I was gonna say, and they don't even realize you're feeding right into the oppressor's trap because remember. Back in them, we brought it out earlier. Back in them 50s and 60s, they were young. So Esau understood that. And what did they start doing? They started implementing certain systems in the church, certain things in the school to go against that because they seen, okay, man, you Fred Hampton, 21 years old out here, revolutionary, 26, Martin Luther King, all these young men. Oh, this is a problem. So we need to put things in place to get them high, get them drunk, get them away from wanting to be a revolutionary. So now when you 20, 21, 22, you want to YOLO, live, you only live once. I'm going to live my blessed life. And then I worry about my people and trying to do right later.
Hey, that goes into that social engineering you spoke about earlier, AZ3. This has been socially engineered.
We're not talking about that right now. All right.
Go to First Maccabees chapter 14, verse 9 for me. First Maccabees chapter 14, verse 9. And after this script, I want you to pull up 2-1 for me. This is how they want us to be. Read that First Maccabees 14 and 9 for me.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 14 and verse 9. The ancient men sat all in the streets.
That's what happens when you're ancient, when you're older man, you have done your time. You have put it in that time for the Lord. You have made your calling and election sure. Now you are passing that wisdom down. The ancient man is out there sitting in the streets, man. Read on.
Communing together of good things.
What you think them good things they communing of? How they fought the war of God valiantly in their youth. I done all that I could when I had the strength to do it with these bones before they got old. I fought until I had to sit down in the streets. My time is done. Now I'm raising up the Avengers to fight this war. Keep reading.
And the young men put on glorious and warlike apparel.
That's that you wonder why you see them young men out there with us in IUIC. That's why you see them, because that spirit in them know they supposed to be warriors. They supposed to be warriors, and they see us coming through like that is what I'm supposed to be. And they start coming into it, and they find their place, they find their purpose, and they fight the battle until they become ancient man, and they sit down in the streets, and we do this over and over again. Until our Lord comes back and Babylon the Great is destroyed. So for those that think it's going to get smaller, wait till we get what we got up our sleeve for your ass. It's coming. Wait till what you see we got coming. But I wanted to go to this. This is what they got. This is what they want us to do. Can you play that video for us? Look at this, y'all. Pause it. When you realize a donkey carried Jesus on his back, and it's no coincidence that donkeys have a cross on their back. Can you play the music? Look at this. Watch him. Play the music. Oh, gosh.
This is soft as hell, man.
Yep. This is what Christianity breeds.
What?
Weak, effeminate men.
That's what they want, y'all. That's what they want the young man to do. They would take that. Look how God made a donkey. Can you pull up the next image, 2-2? They take that. And
Boy, I tell you.
You can't make this up, y'all.
That look like an umbrella.
Right, it do look like an umbrella.
They take that and try to justify Christianity and make it a soft and weak by any means necessary. They really think that a daggone donkey got this on his back. God's like, you know what? In about 10,000 years from now, stop it.
Right.
We ain't supposed to be that. We're supposed to be war. We're supposed to be men of war, man. Come on, man. Stop it. Go ahead, Fish OC. You had something next?
No. Play let the video ride. We 30 minutes in. We ain't let the video play yet.
Dang.
God ain't been through nothing. He got free education.
No. Go back to the first video.
Go back to the first
video.
Oh, the first one. Oh, yeah, we did.
You gonna be gods, or you gonna?
I'm gonna go back up a little bit.
Young black men, and they tell them, if you believe this, you gonna be gods, or you gonna be God's chosen people. You gonna be like more powerful than everybody else, and the white man this and the white man that, and they play off the insecurities of the black community. And this is why I compare it to them knives, because them high school students really think they're gonna change their lives. Like they really believe. No, you gotta understand what they told me. They told me if I sell these knives, I can have a piece of the company and get rich, and I could be this and be that.
Man, I'm sorry. This dude saying too. Hey, get Revelations 2. Read verse 25. It ain't what we saying. It's what the Bible is saying.
There you go.
The Bible says we gonna be gods. The Bible says we gonna have power.
There you go.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25.
And last time I checked, this was Jesus the Christ speaking.
Right.
Read that.
But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come.
Watch this.
And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end.
What? It says, he that overcometh, meaning you overcome your sins, you overcome the pollutions of this world. Read.
And keepeth my works unto the end.
Talking about the commandments of God. Read.
To him will I give power over the nations.
That sound like rulership to me. That sound like power to me. That sound like God level to me. It says, unto him will I give power over the nations. This is how you know Christians don't read the Bible.
Yep.
This is how you know they do not read the Bible whatsoever.
Cap, I'm glad you did stop. It wasn't me. You stopped. But he's showing you that only in the Christian church do we have a transformation amongst our men. Because he kept saying, if you do this, you'll get this. If you do that, what do you got in the Christian church? What are you waiting for in the Christian? It ain't nothing.
You waiting on a cross with a donkey with a cross on it.
There you go. give me Ephesians 4:23. Because when people come in, they change in this truth. There's no change. There's no revolution. There's nothing in your that differs in your life when you come into the Christian church. But when you come into this truth, from the second you see us on the streets, we telling you, hey, bro, you come in, you're going to learn how to be a man. You're going to learn how to be a father. You're going to learn how to be a warrior for the Most High. As the Bible tells you. Read that.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
That's what he hates right there. He hates that we renew our brothers and sisters in the spirit of the Lord. They hate that because you know what that happens when you renew your spirit? You become a new man. You become a new woman. And the Christian church don't want that. They are a stagnant religion.
Yes.
Christianity is a stagnant religion, and it's evident. All of the leaders in the black church, they all big, obese black men with 3-piece suits that they just look horrible. The black man and the black woman, they're obese and they sit there and do absolutely nothing in the Christian church.
Hey, and they know it. The thing about it is that they know that they don't know the Bible. They know that their congregants don't know the Bible, right? And that's why they're trying to figure something out. I remember I watched the conference they had, and it was talking about we probably need to start teaching more about ethnicity in the Bible. I remember that, and I was like, well, why are y'all teaching about ethnicity in the Bible if you don't believe it matters? But it's all into how do we get people into the church? So they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to mix this. No, it had a point where it had a lot of the Christian singers, rappers started to be kind of like saying they Hebrew, but at the same time, they didn't want to keep the commandments. They trying to figure it out. They don't know what to do. They on a scramble. Now they got Pam out there, and Pam like, hey, I'm about to get this money. I ain't worried about y'all.
Right.
You know, so they don't know what to do. Pam gonna be gone. He gonna be in a big white church talking about some holy, holy, holy.
Yep. Hey, Cap, you saying that this comes to mind. I forget the Caucasian lady's name, but it was I believe it was the SPLC. It was a video Bishop showed some time ago.
Years ago. I remember
years ago. And what you're realizing, what the Christian church is doing, this is their last stand. So instead of proving that they have the truth, they're trying to discredit what we teach.
Right.
So if they had the truth, they would just stand on that and continue to teach that because it would be irrefutable, right?
Yep.
But this shows you, instead of sending out missionaries to teach the gospel that they say they believe in, what they're doing is sending out their goons, they're sending out their bloodhounds to do what? To try and to discredit this truth, but it's not going to work. Right. But that's the tactics that they are now using because their gospel or their doctrine is not foolproof.
That's heavy. Point. That's heavy, point. Cap. Go back to the video, Zeke.
That's what the Hebrew Israelites be doing to y'all. Got y'all out here looking crazy. Because the rest of us look at the Hebrew Israelites like they selling Cutco knives. Like we don't take y'all serious. We don't. Y'all just be out there loud and energetic about something that nobody believes.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
Go ahead, everybody. Go ahead, y'all. Go ahead.
Do they not know that they be in church dancing like this and running around in circles and head bobbing and falling out and passing out? Do they not know that they're who is that? Eddie Long, he's dead, but he got caught for messing around with little boys. One of the other big pastors, T.D. Jakes, you know, T.D. Jakes, they say that he's a power bottom, right? Allegedly. They just had a pastor of a big church in Nashville. They had a porn star came out and said that he was paying him he was paying to get rammed in the butt. You know, and he outed him. And this is every day. And they say we look crazy? Right. No, sir. Y'all look crazy. Look at your beard, my guy. Y'all look crazy.
No. Hey, look at his hairline.
Look at it.
I can't say nothing about hairline.
I'm glad.
I can't say
whatever.
But check this out. This is how you know. He's how you know it's not. He's afraid. because if nobody's paying attention to us and we look like clowns, why'd you make a video about
There you
us?
go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's fear. Well, remember that thumbnail that Bishop Yawasop pulled up at his class, man. Heavy imagery behind that, where we got the mask on as we rock, but behind it, it's real fear. That's what we're looking at right here. That's the only reason you made that video. Stop the cat.
Hey, he could say.
Second Ezra 15. Read that real quick. Second Ezra 15. Start at 1. Read down. All right. So obviously, like Cat just brung out, they're the ones that are fearful. Why? Because I believe Captain OC mentioned it. When you come amongst us, you have to change. You have to change. So instead of humbling down to what the scriptures say, they negate it because they understand that, hey, this is the real thing. If I come around them, I can't have stuff. I got to study. I have to apply. So their fear to change, they try to project that on others so they can remain comfortable in their sins.
Right.
All right, read that.
Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
Come on.
Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And cause them to be written in paper.
Come on.
For they are faithful and true.
Right. These words are faithful and true. All right. That's why we're so confident. That's why we're so bold. We don't care who we stand up against. We understand that the word of God is undefeated at the end of the day. Read some more.
Fear not the imaginations against thee.
You see that? It says, fear not the imaginations that come against us. As you can see, you got the apologetics against us. You got the BHI against us. You have the damn powers that be against us. You got a whole country, France, against us. Right. You understand? We all, meaning what? We got to be doing something, right? If we got all of these different people, all these different organizations coming against us, read some more.
Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
That's the key right there. It says, don't let the incredulity of them trouble thee. They're going to try to cast doubt and fear in us so we can stop teaching the gospel. That is their mission. That's what they're sent out to do. Pam went over to Israel and came back a totally different man. And his whole objective is not teaching the gospel, but teaching against the Israelites to try to discredit what the spirit that God has poured out in these last days. So the Lord lets us know, according to prophecy, hey, don't fear anything that they're bringing, anything the apologetics are bringing. The BHI, you got, what's that cat's name? That podcast guy?
Yeah,
Marquette.
Oh yeah,
that guy,
the center.
Yeah, the center and the saint. that guy right there. Hey, don't fear any of that because I think we went over it not too long ago. He has a problem. They call us with the purple Power Rangers. Last time I checked, they mocked a man that wore purple before.
Right. Bring it out.
Yep.
His name is Jesus Christ.
Straight up. That's right.
Once again, their issue is with Christ.
That's
right. Hey, don't have any fear. Don't have any doubt. Hey, this is how it's supposed to be. This is the condition of the battle, but we got to endure until the end. Keep teaching this gospel, regardless of all the hate. Hey, hate is a good thing. Hate is a good thing. That lets us know that what? We are being hated of all nations for Christ's name's sake. So all praise to the Most High for that thing.
Hey, I wanted to pull this up because you mentioned something heavy about how they project their fear on you. So I wanted to go into the psyche of these
because we got
for a second and get them off the screen. It's something called can y'all see that? Did it pop
psychological projection?
Y'all seen it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, there you go. Psychological projection is a defense mechanism where individuals attribute their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, and impulses to others. Essentially, it is a way of avoiding confronting uncomfortable aspects of oneself by projecting them onto someone else. This can manifest in various ways, from minor misinterpretations to more severe distortions of reality, like paranoia. And that's what you see all these so-called Christians, because they know we right. They know deep down in their mind that all the Christian church is a bunch of foolishness, but they know you have to change. And their fear of that is why you see them make videos like that, why they try to push it out on other people that, yeah, them Hebrew Israelites, they ain't nothing.
Hey.
They look crazy. They look funny. Because ultimately, they know in their own mind, it's a defense mechanism. Because they know that they ain't.
Right there. Watch it. It says key aspects. Unconscious process. Projection is often an unconscious process, meaning individuals are not typically aware they are doing it. He just made a video mocking us, saying ain't nobody listening to us, but you mad at how we got all these young folk. He wasn't even conscious to his projection. That's a perfect example of it in that video.
Hey, and you know one big thing that really saves them is the fact that we are about waking up people. We're not about debate. Right? If we was calling them out and saying, we want to debate your pastor, we want to debate this, let's set up debates, let's set up the debates, they'll get destroyed. Right? But that's not even what we're about. We're about waking our people up and bringing them back to Christ to keep the commandments. Right? Because read Luke 21 and 15. Luke 21 and 15. Because if we was about debate, and we wanted to sit down on panels and debate, because I watch some of these debates with these guys, and I'd be like, goodness, man, y'all, you know, like I say, you want them to win because they're Israelites, but then their doctrine just be off. Read that, Luke 21, verse 5.
The book of Luke, chapter 21.
I mean, 15.
Yes, sir, verse 15. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist.
That's why they can't stop talking about us, but at the same time, they can't defeat us with the scriptures. It is what it is. Some of these guys come on the clubhouse every single night, all day, all night. You see them listening. We done blocked them. They get another page just to come in and listen. They can't stop listening, but they can't come and defeat us with the scriptures because they don't know the scriptures. Right? Because they don't have wisdom. They don't believe in God. It is what it is.
Hey, let's finish it and then we'll go on, ZB.
Years of church history and another couple thousand years of
go back about 3 seconds. Hey, we might not go off this video. We gotta address this right here. This is the main reason why I wanted this video. Go back about 10 seconds, please.
Just be out there loud and energetic about something that nobody believes. Because we got 2,000 years of church history and another couple thousand.
Oh, wow.
2,000 years of church history. Now, this is what I want to. What church history is he speaking about, y'all?
Right.
Is he speaking about the Inquisition? Is
Right.
he speaking about the? Can you bring up the image of the all the different religions that was created while we were in slavery? Because the church fathers that they're speaking about, y'all, whether you believe it or not, these are talking about white men and their doctrines. He ain't talking about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Paul. He ain't talking about that. When they say church history, they're talking about Martin Luther. They're talking about Saint Ignatius. They're talking about all these different things. They're not talking about the Bible. Can you bring that up, please?
That's a good point. You can't be talking about church history because they like to have that point of Christianity was in Africa. The oldest Bible is in Ethiopia.
Right.
Deacon Ithon, the doctrine slayer, just destroyed that this past Sabbath. That's not true. And black folk talk about Christianity was in Africa. You know, Africa's a continent. I want black folk to understand Africa is a continent.
Right.
It being in one country does not mean it was on the entire continent.
There you go.
Black folk on the west coast of Africa, which was us, the Jews, did not celebrate or worship Christianity. Go ahead, OC.
Okay, good. Here we go. Church. This is the church history that he's speaking about.
Right.
You got the Catholic Church, Pope Nicholas. Any of y'all ever heard of the dumb diverses? Have you ever heard of the dumb diverses, the papal bulls that the Christian church, the age of the doctrine of discovery? Have you ever heard of this? John Smith, the Baptist religion, which is the two main religions that black people, ex-slaves, they are, but predominantly Baptist and Methodist. Why? Because their slave masters were Baptist and Methodist. As I traveled on the other side of the earth, I realized that a lot of black people are Catholics.
Yep.
Why? because the European conquistadors, whether they were French, whether they were Spanish, whether they were Dutch, guess what? They were Catholics. So all the church history that he's speaking about is from people that enslaved your people. But he don't understand that. He don't understand that to get it. I
Hey,
wonder if we had to touch that.
hey, you know what's crazy about when you think about the Baptists and a lot of the slaves were in the South, right? And the reason why they couldn't do Catholicism down south is because the people down south were so stupid, right? They wasn't able to go to seminary school and things like that. So they and then they had to be to go through a school to be able to teach the gospel. So that's why Baptist religion and different things spread so easily in the South, because they didn't have to do that. I could just say, "Hey, you're a pastor now." And they go, "Okay," and they went down there and did that. You know, going into the whole Bible Belt theme. So that's why the Christians in the South are so much stupider than anybody else, because they never had to learn anything. They just came with a doctrine that people like slavery, the man is more important, and things like that. They let you still can drink certain things you still could do, and that's how it spread so fast in the South, and that's why a lot of us learn that.
Hey, Real Mattathias, me and the Real Mattathias come from the same city. Cap, how many adults we know that are pastors now that never had no formal training? They just popped the church up in our hometown. How many people, Cap?
I can't count, bro. Can't count.
That's the hustle now.
That's the hustle. Let me show you what 2,000 years of church history look like for black folk. Here you go.
There you go.
That's it. Look at that. And there's black folk, y'all. That's Africa.
Wow.
Bowing at the feet, praying to white Jesus, idol.
So let's go to the next video. But I wanted to hit that. He take pride in church history. That's the church history is your oppressor's history.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
He got to say, you white people. He got to.
But our excuse is we've been through so much.
We ain't been through shit. Who is we? They, the nigga, have been through shit. The nigga ain't been through nothing. He got free education.
So this is showing you the two different extremes. This is the two different extremes of black people. You got the religious black man.
Yep.
He hate the Israelites. Now you got the non-spiritual black man. He hate the Israelites too. Both of them gonna say the same thing, that we ain't been through nothing. The white man has brainwashed us at every turn. Whether you open the Bible or not, what they want you to do is forget your history and forget what happened to you. Go ahead, first play.
He got to go skating. He got to say, you white people. He got to talk back to the police.
Wait a minute. His idea of us not being oppressed, y'all, is we get to go skate.
Wow.
Right.
Do you hear this?
Yes, we get to go skating.
Folk? We get to go skate, and cuss is us being free. Go ahead.
Never had that.
But you don't think that still affects us today?
Okay, so what did your grandparents go through that affected you that you don't know nothing about?
My grandma picked cotton in South Carolina.
How did that affect you?
It didn't.
There you go. So how can you say what the slaves went through affected you? How can you skip?
This is the problem of not knowing your history, y'all.
Right. There you go.
You agree with animated, charismatic speakers, and you don't have any foundation to back up what they say, because they say it so well, you don't know how to come back against it. And this is what he said. No, it don't affect me at all. Yes, it do. You know how? You still got that white man last name on you.
There you go.
Yep.
What's crazy is the richest place on the planet is where we are all from.
Right.
The richest place on the planet is where we are all originated from. That all these other nations, the only reason they survive is because of that. The only reason all these countries are rich and they got these big, huge buildings and gold trim around them and stuff is because of us, right? But we don't make anything off of any of that. Read Deuteronomy 32:7, because the Bible tells us not to forget, right? But our enemies tell us to forget. That was a long time ago. How long y'all going to be thinking about that? Oh, every year, why we got to think about this? Black History Month, blah, 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 right? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Remember the days of old.
So the Bible tells us to remember our history, the things that happened to our forefathers. Go ahead.
Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee.
So we're supposed to understand what happened. All of the nations understand this, right? I think the so-called Amalek over there, they got a saying, never again, going into the Holocaust. You know, not the real Holocaust that happened to us, because nobody cares about that. And you can't talk about that, because if you do, you're complaining. But they have a saying, never again. All nations remember what happened in their past so they can move forward and it don't happen again. We're the only people that think what happened to us doesn't affect us this today. You know, the fact that he's a joke, whatever. He's a cartoon character.
That's heavy, Cap. And he could only say that type of stuff and get away with that stuff with Black people that don't know their history and don't know, because I mean, it's easy to answer his question of how he said my grandmama picked cotton. How did that affect you? Well, I don't know, maybe because she picked cotton and that money went to banks and to fund white America to now build the infrastructure that you see today. And I'm still working a 9 to 5, having to pay taxes and having to do all this. That's how it affected me. But because, watch this, get Hosea 4 and 6, just to follow up off what Big Judd had brought out. Get Hosea 4 and 6. Our people were destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Read that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
So because we don't know where we came from, we don't understand the how slavery and these things affected us, and the reason why these things happen to us, we continue that same perpetual cycle. So you can have somebody like Charleston White get on there and basically do the Jedi mind trick, like none of that matters, man. We free now. What did slavery do for you? And you like, nothing. I mean, you know, I get benefits now. I go to work. I pay my bills, not realizing that ain't freedom.
Right.
That's not a way of life. Real freedom and power is having your face on a dollar bill, being able to make the laws, being able to govern your society and things of that nature. But because of slavery and because of things that's happened to us, we're destroyed and we don't even see it. And then dumb niggas like Charleston White, excuse my language, can get on and say dumb stuff like that. Go ahead.
From TikTok, but you gotta preface it. Have your face on your money and not have it in French banks.
Exactly.
You gotta preface it that way.
Yeah, right. Because other side of the
got their face on it, but it goes into French banks and they are recycling and stealing the resources. You gotta preface it that way.
Right.
Hey, before we move on, I want to get a quick precept. Go to 2 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 35. 2 Maccabees chapter 3, verse 35. So slavery did a number on us. It made our people stop fighting.
Yep.
That's what it did. You got to think about it. If the black man rose up, what they would do, they would castrate them, tar and feather. You know, this would be done in the side of the whole plantation. All right, the mother picking cotton, our mothers, our daughters, our sisters being raped. All right, this put an inferiority complex on our people as well, to the point where it allowed the enemy to do what? To do role reversal or identity theft. They inserted themselves as the people of God, while we now took on this subservient nature. So it's a hell of an effect. Slavery had a hell of an effect, and its negative effect on our people, to the point where when Charleston White would ask that type of question, like Captain Sakar bring out, obviously he don't know what to say. He don't have no ammunition. Why?
Right.
Because he doesn't know who he is anymore.
There
you understand? His mother picking cotton, his grandmother. Hey, this was what? Years of sharecropping.
Yep.
All right. Before that, we were still in actual slavery, so on and so on, to the point where you don't even care no more. You can't even see the effect that it has on you because you're that destroyed.
Right.
All right, but watch this. 2 Maccabees 3:35.
2 Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 35. So Heliodorus, after he had offered sacrifice unto the Lord.
My bad. 1 Maccabees. That's my bad. 1 Maccabees 3:35. Watch this. All right. Don't forget the point. Watch this.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 35.
Come on.
To wit, that he should send an army against them to destroy and root out the strength of Israel.
This is what slavery did to us. To destroy and root out our strength to the point where we don't even fight no more. You've seen that imagery, our people just lining up, kissing the feet of white Jesus. You understand? To the point where we are subservient willingly to our oppressors. Read some more.
And the remnant of Jerusalem, and to take away their memorial from that place.
Right, to take away our memory of who we are as a nation of people, all right, to the point where now in our lands of our various captivities, we'll actually call Amalek or the Israelis, we'll actually call them the people of God, just like it prophesied in Ezekiel 36. But watch this, read some more.
And that he should place strangers in all their quarters.
There you go. There you go. Meaning what? Today, our quarters is Israel, Jerusalem. But now you have the strangers, all right, Edom or Amalek, the Israelis, living in our land today. And guess what? None of our people are in an uproar. In fact, you got your boy Pam going on a rant saying Jesus was an ethnic Jew.
Oh, gosh.
Ethnic Jews are the real Jews, and they're black, you idiot. But all of that cotton picking, all of that slavery, you're not able to connect the dots, you dumbass. I'm sorry.
Banned from TikTok.
That's what slavery has done to our people. But they're mad at us. They're mad at us. Read some more.
That's an ethnic Jew.
There you go. There you go. Read.
And divide their land by lot.
Right, and divide our land by lot. You know, when you read the rest of the history, it's going into what? Them bringing the Israelites to be sold as slaves. And all the other nations would come and get us to show you what? We have been destroyed, not just on this side of the earth. All right, the other nations have sold us in slavery, took our identity, and they came together and had an agreement that what? They all wanted to put our name on the earth out of our remembrance. Why? Because there's power in our name. Because we have what? Prince that has power with God. Once we lost that, now the nations can rule over us. So people like Charleston White, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right. He's sadly misinformed. But the crazy thing, people listen to him. That's the crazy thing.
Wow.
He has no credentials. He's just a crazy black man, and people listen to this guy. It's ridiculous, man.
Hey, Cap, what you saying is 100% accurate. We could go on this forever. But when he asked the question of what did your foremothers and forefathers being in slavery have to do with today, it goes right back to what we started with the show. Every leader that has risen up has been put to death. So now, because of that, when you ask what are the effects of slavery, you're gonna say, "Oh, nothing. Oh, nothing. Slavery didn't do nothing." Because we all know what happens to people that stand up for other black people here in America. Death is the only thing that's awaiting for you when you stand up for your people.
Yeah.
Y'all know the only slave rebellion that we have ever taught about is Nat Turner. Y'all think Nat Turner was the only person that led a rebellion of slaves? No, there were hundreds, thousands of slave rebellions, but they would never teach us that because they want us to be servile, they want us to be docile, and never raise up against the status quo. And the status quo is that we don't exist. And the proof of it is, you celebrate July 4th, 1776 every single year. But if you try to bring up any time from 1777 to 1865 up about you being enslaved, they tell you why you going so far back. Why does that matter? The hypocrisy is otherworldly. Go ahead, guys, with us.
Hey, just going off what you just said about the fear, they had a councilwoman that just got fired, a black councilwoman out of Texas.
Yeah.
She made a statement about that, about how that town that flood just hit with all those white kids that are missing and that died, how it's a racist town, and how when stuff happened to black people, nobody cares, but now something happened in this white town, and it's like everybody's making this big deal out of it. And guess what? She lost her job. So when we make statements and we stand up and we say what's really going on, about missing persons, about how they don't care about us and things like that, guess what? They fire you. Just like in slavery, how they would beat the slave that didn't want to change his name or didn't want to follow after the ways of their slave master. They put him to death to instill that fear in us.
Yep.
Hey, just to your point, Judd, for those who are not familiar, this was a natural disaster that happened in Texas. Don't forget about the white man disasters like Lake Lanier when they flooded black cities.
Bring it up.
Literally killed our people. This is just a hand of God. This is that get back. This God's recompense.
Yep.
But they're making a big deal out of the natural disaster. Talk about the damn intentional flooding of black cities. You don't want to talk about that.
Heavy.
Go back to the video.
How can you skip the genetics of your father and your mother and go all the way to the slave? You drink and you do things because of the genetics and the chromosome of your mother and father, not those chromosomes. Your conditions that you're in was created by your mother and father.
Pause. Only a black person would say this. Listen. I've been trying to do stuff with my family as far as trust and things like that of that nature. There are white people to this day that live off the money that their great grandfather left them from years ago because they understood investments, they understood bonds, they understood how things multiply. They are living off that. That's why you got employees that work the same job that you work, and when they take vacation, you like, damn. How the hell are they taking a vacation?
Yep.
Because
Right.
they
Take
don't
a lot
really
of
need that
vacations.
job. They don't really need that job. They just there.
And a lot of times they just there because the trust tells they got to do that in order to get certain monies and things.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, I wanted to play a video where he said, how does that affect you? Can you play 3-1 for us? Because this is the lack of not knowing our history of how those things affect us. Now he's asking, why don't we receive reparations? But that's not the point. Look at the history he brings out of what happened to us then affects us now. Go ahead, play.
Why would descendants of the transatlantic slave trade get reparations to leave if they were never in slavery? Oscarville, Georgia, 1912. White mobs violently expelled the entire black population. The land was later submerged under Lake Lanier to erase the evidence. East St. Louis, Illinois, 1917. Over 100 black residents were murdered in a white mob attack. Homes and businesses were burned while police stood down. Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921. Black Wall Street was burned to the ground by white mobs with support from law enforcement. Up to 300 were killed, 35 city blocks destroyed.
Now, just for that, he mentioned land with Lake Lanier. Land is passed down. That's how wealth is built.
Yes.
He mentioned Black Wall Street. On all of that, we had businesses that could have been passed down generation to generation. That affects you, right? Let's go. Let's keep playing.
Rosewood, Florida, 1923. A white mob destroyed the entire town after a false accusation. Survivors fled to the woods, never returned. Detroit, Michigan, Paradise Valley, 30s to the 50s. Redlining locked blacks into overcrowded zones. Later, I-75 was put right through the heart of Detroit's Black Business District and Cultural Center. Chicago, Illinois, Black Belt, 1930s to the 40s. Redlining confined black families to overcrowded housing. Banks refused to lend. The city created laws for residential segregation based on race. Vanport, Oregon, 1948. A flood destroyed housing for 18,000 residents, mostly black war workers. The government failed to warn them. No rebuilding followed. St. Louis, Missouri, Mill Creek Valley, 1959. The city demolished 5,000 black homes in the name of urban renewal. 20,000 residents were displaced without replacement housing.
Hey, you know what's heavy about this? Because, Judge, you just brought it out. Black people will hear all this stuff.
God with us. Pay attention, man.
And, and it goes back. And it goes back.
That keto.
His camera did just flip.
Keto camera. Go ahead.
Back to the title. All for the love of white Jesus. Black people will hear all of this, and their first thought will be, well, we just forgive them. We still love them. We still got to forgive them.
There you go.
But Esau will hear this back to the little camp with the white kids, and they will be frantic I had to pull up one of the comments. I had to just see it on Facebook from the sister that got fired. Esau on here said she got fired and she deserved it. She was mocking little white girls who lost their lives in a flood.
Wow.
That's their first thought is she deserved it. She should have been talking about us. But black folks, our first thought, because of white Caesar Bow, white Jesus, that image of the beast, oh, we got to forgive them and we got to move on. Well,
that's heavy.
We just got to love them.
That's heavy.
Damn.
There was a lot of
Florida Overtown.
Go ahead.
1950s, I-95 was put right through Overtown, a thriving black community. Residents and businesses were evicted, never compensated. Durham, North Carolina, Haiti District, 1960s, a self-sufficient black business district was wiped out by highway construction. No restoration or reparations were ever provided. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, move bombing, 1985. The city dropped a bomb on a black home, killing 11 people.
Now, even more than us having wealth passed down from generation to generation, we was cut off from that through different government atrocities that happened to us. You know what kind of mental mind state?
There you go. You go.
That's how that's passed down from generation to generation. Trauma. That you know that happened to your ancestors, how that affects you in this day and age, and you see it even to this day where your people that you even consider leaders or wealthy are publicly castrated when they go outside the lines of white America. That affects us to this very day. Charleston White don't know what the hell he's talking about. That dude's a clown, man.
Hey, Cap, not only that, they did all these things with the redlining and the different atrocities with Lake Lanier and Black Wall Street, and then pushed us into project homes, Section 8, and all it did was heighten and magnify that trauma and anxiety, because they knew pushing them into them projects, then they would start to destroy and kill themselves because they already pissed off and mad. Now they would take it out on each other.
Hey, but before any of that, they had the Head Right Act, right? The Head Right Act was when they got people, when they colonized this land, they got men to come. If they agreed to form, they gave them 50 acres of land. They gave them tools and they gave them money to be able to do it, right? So they did that. So land was given to them. It fueled slavery, because when they bought slaves, that went to the head right, but the slaves didn't get the land. The slave owner got the land. So they were building their empires and building their land and adding to their property while bringing slaves in to work the property. So all that happened. That's why we don't own any land right now. They own the land, all in the chief places, the best places. And so they take that land that they own now through colonization, right, through theft. And they use that to buy land today. That's why they own the beachfront property, all the best land in America and in the world. They own it because of the welfare system that they put in place for them. And then now they call our sisters welfare queens, where they're the original welfare queens.
Hey, that's a heavy point. And it wasn't just so-called African Americans. They did it to Native Americans too. You had they would marry Native American women, kill them, or sign the rights over to them, murder people in the family, like the movie that came out, Killers of the Flower Moon, and that's where you get a lot of those $5 Indians, where they would take the land and they still benefiting off it to this day.
Hey, to this day, and guess what? Guess what they do today? All these black ball players, they got white wives. All the money going right back to they keep infiltrating the system over and over and over again.
Tiger Woods married a babysitter.
Damn. And she got what, $500 million after that, man.
Damn.
Go ahead.
We're going back to Charleston.
Oh, no,
yeah. Well, go to the next video. Because remember, he said that it doesn't pass on. Now, we know that ain't true. We just brought out scriptures. We brought out history. But watch what happened to our genes. Y'all got the video about the genes?
People can't register. Like all the slave movies that you think you saw, slavery wasn't nothing like that. It was 30 times worse than any movie that you ever seen.
Yeah.
And we've never had therapy, Shannon.
Oh,
no.
We never had therapy. Now, I know we got some therapists on the show, some certified men. But we never had a time where we can recollect and actually be cared for with what happened to our people. And watch, he gonna say it at the end with what actually happened. Because a lot of people will say, well, what they got to do with you? They'll say the same thing Charleston White just said. But keep playing.
And that trauma just got passed down through generations.
It did. And so, man, for us to even be here and you know that from an epigenetic standpoint, bro, we still suffer from what our great-great-grandparents.
Pause. So from an epigenetic, a lot of y'all say, well, what's that? What is epigenetics? Play that next video. All that. Slavery may have altered black people's body chemistry. This is why a young child is scared of the police. A young black child is scared of the police. My children, I ain't never had spoke to them about the police. They said, Daddy, the police behind us. I ain't never had to teach them nothing.
Damn.
We got transported to them. Go ahead, press play. Researchers have found certain genetic markers are altered by traumatic experiences in a process called epigenetics.
We already know that this is a gene that contributes to risk for depression and post-traumatic stress disorder.
All right, trauma changes the genes of an individual, but it doesn't stop there.
When we looked at their own children, their children also had an epigenetic change in the same spot on a stress-related gene.
Since DNA is passed down to children, then this research suggests that the traumatic life experiences can have an effect on the offspring at the genetic level. Right. These genetic modifications can be passed down through generations. Oh, here you go. For example, the trauma resulting from the transatlantic slave trade. Pause. So this is what we're speaking about when we say these things. How did it affect us? To this day, we still jacked up. We still jacked up to this day because these things keep getting passed on. And contrary to popular belief, slavery didn't just end in 1865 and we all became happy people. No, that it took all the way. Really, you had the Black Code, Jim Crow. After
it never ended.
It never ended. It took from 1865 to 1964 to get civil rights. So it's really 3 generations from hardcore slavery. But I remember my own experience as a young child in Brevard County, white dudes on trucks running, nigger. That happened to me in my own city.
Oh man,
I'm young.
Hey,
So these things continue to be passed on.
100% right. All my life.
You
don't even understand where I come from. The trauma. I'm telling you, and because a lot of people think it's just back in the 50s, the 60s, or even during slavery, 1800s. No. All the way up to the early 2000s, mid 2000s. I can remember being in high school, in middle school, white boys getting in fights because they calling you a little Negro. They ain't saying Negro, but to be politically, they saying. Well, I just say it.
So we ain't getting banned from TikTok.
Okay, right. You know what they saying with the ER on the end. I remember times of not being able to participate in certain things and having to fight because I'm the only colored person there. And they're and I'm telling you, it's bred in them. Don't get it twisted. It's bred in them.
Check this out. I'm glad you said that. The only color person there, because it don't matter how light, what shade you is.
Listen.
A Negro with an ER on the end to them.
That I'm telling you, how Esau think, they don't care if you got an ounce in you. You are a Negro to them.
Straight up.
Point blank.
Hey, God is with us. Want to say something?
Hey, I got something. Hey, let me read this
book right here.
Oh, go ahead. I got that.
They should get this post-traumatic slave syndrome. Yep. Right, this book right here. So part in here is called learned helplessness.
Yep.
Right, and it goes into the point to where we see our people, losing at a battle to the point to where you stop fighting, to where they don't even have to even defend. It talks about a door basically they trying to fight through a door and knowing that they keep losing, and to the point to where you stop fighting to where they don't even have to guard that door anymore. They don't have to use resources to deal with that issue anymore because they already know that you're not even going to go that way. And that's our people. That's Charleston White. You know, why do we care about this? Why do we care about that? Right? Because you have a learned helplessness. You think that there's nothing that you can do is going to work. Right. And that's that slavery, all those genes passed down to us. And there's so many more things that we deal with as a people that we don't even know we deal with as a people. You know, you go to a store and your own people don't want to give you a discount. They mad at you.
God with us want to say something now.
Yeah, just real quick.
There we go. There we go. Everybody
Get in
put
there.
the pickup got one. There we go.
Just real quick.
Get you what it is.
Lamentations chapter 2, verse 16. So, like what Judd is saying, like the real Mattathias said, well, all the captains, you know, Deuteronomy 28, right? We had the yokes of iron upon our neck until we were destroyed. The so-called white man did us to the point where, like Judd bringing out, they comfortable. They know that the black man today is so, we did so much of a number on them that we don't have to worry about the revolting and them trying to overthrow us or nothing like that. They good. And Charleston White, that clip was like a manifestation of that. Watch this, read that.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up.
Right, we have devoured them. Go ahead.
Certainly, this is the day that we looked for.
That's what I thought about when I saw that Charleston White clip. Like, damn, I know the white man. Like, yes, we did it. We didn't cook these niggas. These niggas is cooked. Slavery don't got nothing to do with us, nigga. A nigga ain't been through nothing, nigga. Bro, that is the day that they look for. They have accomplished their enterprise.
Bring it out.
For real.
Hey, that's heavy right there. Hey, have any of y'all heard of? Because when I seen that, it made me think of the monkey experiment.
Yes.
Because what you got to understand, what you got to understand about Esau, the thought of him, every one of them is deep, and they put certain practices in place behind closed doors, and then they implement them, and they have these experiments where they test certain things, and then they implement it on blacks and Hispanics, like the monkey experiment. When you get a chance, I know for time we ain't got to pull it up, but when you get a chance, look it up. But like you just said, Joe, with the water, they had monkeys and they had bananas on top of a ladder. One monkey went up, and when the monkey would go up, it would start raining on everybody else. So now when that monkey, they pulled the monkey off the ladder, beat him up, boom, 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 and then they took a monkey away and replaced another monkey, and the monkey tried to get the banana, and they grabbed him immediately and beat him up because they didn't want to get rained on. And they kept doing it and kept replacing the monkeys till you had monkeys that never been rained on. And anytime a monkey would try to go to get the banana, they would beat him up. Even though they had raincoats on and all that, they would beat them up because they learned through that trauma that, okay, yeah, we can't go get that banana because we're going to get rained on.
They kept.
Now you ain't got to watch it. AZ3 explained the whole video to y'all. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
Hey, real quick, I wanted to say, because Big Judd brought out about how this book talked about with Dr. Joy DeGroy about a door that, you can't get through. And how people learn not to even go through the door. The Bible speaks about that. Bishop Yawasop always brings it out. Get that for me in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 12. And I'm going to show you how we still suffer from what has happened to our ancestors through slavery, through Jim Crow, through redlining, through police brutality, through sharecropping. I'm going to show you how it affects the majority of us today. Read that for me.
Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 12. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick.
Stop right there. That's what happened to us for generation after generation, for century to century. The hope that we had always was deferred. There was always stumbling blocks, or not even stumbling blocks. There were walls literally built to keep us from going into places. And even when we got into those places, there were still other little walls that were built to make it hard to get over until the hope was deferred. Now watch this. I'm going to show you how it affects us today. How is our hope deferred today? You tell me how many black children you meet that say they want to be doctors.
Yep.
You tell me how many you meet that want to be lawyers. Tell me how many you meet that want to be scientists and create inventions and be engineers. But I could tell you a handful of them that say, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be an NBA player. I want to be a rapper. I'm trying to sling his drum. I want to be a movie star. I want to be a social media influence. You know why? Because the hope deferred from their parents, from their grandparents, has been passed down to them to where the door is closed. We're not even going through that. Let us just go through the doors that this white man has opened for us to freely walk through. I could be a clown. I Show Speed's a clown. That dude is he make $1 million a day. Kai Cenat is a clown, make $1 million a day. Social media influence on TikTok, on Instagram, or whatever. OnlyFans. That's hope deferred. The doors have been closed. We have trained ourselves. We only going through the doors that the white man has opened for us. It still affects us today.
Hey, Cap, I want to say something. Get Psalm 64 and verse 4. And before you read it, I want to go into what everybody been hitting on. I think it was Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory said this. I think it was him. And he spoke about crabs in a barrel. Go with what AZ3 brought out about the monkeys. When they speak about crabs in a barrel and how they pull each other down, right? What he said was he don't see his people like that. He said what you don't see is the only time crabs act like that. When do crabs do that? Let me ask y'all. When do crabs do that?
When you put them in a bucket.
When you put them in a bucket.
There you go. The boiling water is when they got the boiling water and they trying to get out of the pot. Nobody ever says anything about who's turning up the stove on the water.
We put them in the bucket.
We never point the hand at the man who's putting us in these positions. Like y'all pointed out, we go into the projects. We going into the hoods. We going into slave ships. We never ever see that hidden hand of why we in this condition that we in. They never get blamed for that. We always point the blame at ourselves. Read that Psalm 64. Matter of fact, read verse 2.
Psalm chapter 64 and verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Read.
Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Read.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
These are the shots that they are shooting at us that we never see. We make ourselves feel guilty of why we in the predicaments that we in. You got people like Charleston White beating us down even more. So when brothers like ourselves actually find and like, hey, we figured it out. We pulled the veil off what that Scooby-Doo. You got to pull the veil off. Right. What we do, everybody look at us like we crazy. Like, nah, that ain't what it is. Y'all lying. That's what we dealing with. That's what we dealing with.
Heavy. Where that next video at?
Bring it up.
Did you want that still?
Oh, that was that. I'll read it real quick. Emotional trauma can lead to a wide range of effects, including persistent feelings of sadness, anxiety, or even post-traumatic stress disorder. You know how we see that in the black community? It's called black on black violence.
Yep.
That's what feelings of sadness and anxiety, that's how it's expressed among us. Individuals may experience emotional dysregulation, a grown man acting like a kid. Difficulty trusting others. I don't trust nobody around me. It's get rich or die trying every man for himself. Feelings of guilt, shame, self-blame. Long-term consequences can include depression, emotional numbness. I kill these niggas out here. I don't give a damn about nobody. And challenges in managing emotional responses. You go 0 to 100. That's emotional trauma passed down from generation to generation. Tired of Negroes saying, what happened to them don't affect us now. Yes, it does. It's showed in our behavior on an everyday basis amongst each other.
Hey, Cap, that's why they smoke weed.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
And back to Captain OC's point, because remember the scriptures say that man of sin got to be revealed. The reason why a lot of these things we have is because of the systems that this Caucasian man, who is Esau according to Bible, has put us in.
Yeah.
That's those projects, those, like you pointed out, those projects, the prison, school to prison pipeline, all these things lead to a lot of that post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, the feeling of losslessness and hopelessness because of these systems that we're in.
Hey, the music, the
music
bruh,
we listen to,
the music is horrible.
The media we watch, all that stuff is systematic. But like you said, Cap, nobody speaks about who's the hand behind it that's pushing this stuff out.
Nope.
That's doing these things.
Nope. Everybody want to point the finger at the musical artists. They getting paid. Somebody is paying them. Nobody ain't doing nothing for free.
Straight up.
Think about it. Negroes has been in the hood. He been watching his mama, his grandmama scrape by, his mama scrape by, and then here come this damn
A&R,
freaking Caucasus Mountain A&R.
A dude named Cohen, Larry Cohen.
With $1 million and say, hey, listen, you just need to rap about X, Y, and Z drugs, holes, and popping pills, and I give you $1 million. What Negro in the hood ain't taking that?
Yeah,
right.
Straight
I don't know if it was on y'all show today or somebody else's show, but they talk about did y'all show that about the interview with the white dude when he said I gotta feed my family?
That's what he said. He said it's a business. I got mouths to feed. They say, well, we know it. You know what's wrong. Why you know? Well, hey, listen, I got mouths to feed.
And then OC, what we got here? We got Charles White the food. We got the effeminate Christians, and then you get our people right here that know they Israel talking crazy too.
What is that a tattoo of on his chest?
Man, I do not know. It looked like a microphone, but I
All
don't know.
right. They look like a microphone.
All right. I thought it was.
I hope it's a microphone.
I hope it ain't something
Hey,
else.
so Cap, you hit it on the head. So we showed y'all the effeminate Christian. We showed you the hood nigga. Now we're gonna show you the white man even has infiltrated the Israelite movement as well. And all three of them got the same mind, which is the mind of the white man. Listen to what he's talking about.
This is for all the Hebrew Israelite camps.
Pause.
It's time.
Once I hear Hebrew Israelite, I know
disband the
you don't believe. The white man is in your brain. When I hear Hebrew Israelite, the white man is in your brain. This is a message to all these other camps. Stop calling yourself a Hebrew Israelite. There's nowhere in the Bible where we call a Hebrew Israelite.
Not black Hebrew Israelite, not Hebrew Israelite, none of that.
Golly, that really pisses me off when I hear that.
It's a derogatory term.
Right.
Yep. Right. Go ahead.
This is for all the Hebrew Israelite camps. It's time to disband the camps and come together.
There you go. You see that? Whenever you hear that, you know you got the white man mind.
Yep. He's been paid.
There you go. Nobody ever said disband the NAACP. Let's all get together. They don't say that. They do not teach that to our people. They don't say disband all these Greek organizations. We can't have Alpha Psi Phi. We can't have Omega Psi Phi and the Kappas. We can't have all of them.
Hey, Cap,
We don't say that.
they never say, let's disband all these church denominations and just come together as one church. They don't never say that.
There you go. This is hypocrisy. And that's a heavy point, Cap. We got to start bringing it out, too. They don't ever say that because they understand everybody has a different set of beliefs. In order to push the people in one place, you got to separate. If not, it's just chaos. It's chaos. Go ahead.
Y'all want you to put down your insignias and all your flags and everything that divides you now and go get your white garments cleaned and prepared.
Yeah, that's heavy. No one. Where was this energy for the book, chapter, verse? But where is this energy for the Christian church who has been robbing our people blind for years?
There you go.
These people crazy.
Go ahead.
Because we're marching back to Jerusalem together.
Oh gosh. Tell you right now, nigga, I ain't marching nowhere.
With the Gentiles.
I'm not marching to Jerusalem. How am I gonna get across that ocean? How am I march across that ocean?
Hey, this how you know he ain't never left the country.
I need a chariot.
The Bible say, "Come up hither," not "Hey, walk over here."
Right.
I need a chariot, bro. Hey.
Carrying the bags, of course. I'm sure you love to hear that. But he doesn't want you shitting on the.
You know how? I'm sorry, I gotta point it out. You know how bad your life or low life you gotta be, you're recording in a bathroom in your house.
Exactly.
With the shower curtain. We see the shower curtain. Like, what? You have nothing better to do with
That's
your
an
life?
apartment. That's an apartment.
Yeah, it's definitely an apartment. It's like, come on, man. Our people stop.
All right,
Stop
man,
the
we got to
madness.
get on with this dude. I
Stop
can't
the
take no more of him, man.
Go ahead,
What else
go
we
ahead.
got, man?
To
What else
that
we got,
sunken
bro?
place.
Good to see another brother around here.
And I'm in the scene. I turn around with that glass. Yes, of course it is. I'm like, this is the scariest shit I have ever been a part of.
That's crazy. That's a movie.
Yeah.
He's in a movie. That's
And
crazy that it took a movie to hit him like black folk are in the sunken place. This stuff is real. This is what goes on in society right here. I'm a part of it. I'm playing it right now. It scared the hell out of him when it hit him. Like, and that's a reason why you see these Christians trying so hard to come against us. And when we know we Israel, they afraid, y'all. They're afraid to look the truth of this world dead in his face and say, I stand bold in Christ against you and keep
Cap.
these commandments.
Cap, you know what's heavy though? This is what they hate, is that we know how to navigate this world with the understanding that we got. They hate that. They like, hold on, don't you? How you go to work? Like, how you do this? How you do? They always ask those questions because they can't wrap their head around it. They like, with all that understanding, how can you look at the white man every day? I can do it because I'm in the sunken place.
Yeah.
But you seem like you awake. How do you stand next to this man every day? Because we have wisdom in how we deal, but they don't understand that.
There you go.
And this like social strata we live in, it benefits you to be in a sunken place. The way that the system is set up, you actually are rewarded for retreating into this false identity.
This dude's from Brooklyn. Huh? He didn't dress like this.
And when you're black in a white environment, what that often means is your identity is stripped from you, taken from you, and replaced with this.
That's he is not a black man. He's an ethnic Jew because Pamela gets rewarded for saying that.
Yep.
He gets rewards for that.
Hey Cap, that go back to what you was talking about a couple days ago, maybe last week, about the code switching and the professionalism and all of that stuff. You don't talk how you regularly talk. You take all the bass out your voice when you get around them folks. You walk different. You talk different. Your ass probably eat the potato salad with the raisins in it. You know what I'm saying? Like you not the same guy when you around them.
Hey, that's heavy. You pull this
Maybe that
picture.
is
Go
something that
back.
has been
Go back.
This is if code switching was a photo.
Yep.
This is it right here.
That's
because the angry dude right there. That's how you want to be around black folks. But that fearful dude in the back, that's what Esau sees. Yes, sir, master. Yes, sir, boss. Oh, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Hey, James Baldwin had a quote. It said, "To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage almost all the time."
Yeah.
Right? Because you gotta survive, but at the same time you gotta deal with all this BS that we get hit with. It's crazy. And if you read that in Ecclesiastes 7:7, read that real quick, Ecclesiastes 7:7.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
Right. That's that state of rage that we're in all the time, knowing the oppression that we have to deal with here in America. Read.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
But they give us gifts, and that's what keeps us out of that revolutionary mindset, to where we want to fight against it. They give us these gifts, and they give us people like Charleston White, and they give us rap, and they give us Meg Thee Stallion, and all these different BS and football and things that take our mind away from being a revolutionary. And we just see it. We see it, and we see it in the Christian church coming up against us, all to stop us from getting us out of this oppressive state to being back in the position we're supposed to be in.
Yep.
All praise.
You had one more video. Do you want to go through that video, OC? This last one?
We good.
Okay.
People got the message.
All praises to the Most High, man. This is another.
That's right.
Another podcast.
The Avengers
Mic'd Up.
podcast.
The Avengers, man. We fought late night crime. We fought the late night crime and we did it well, brothers.
All praises.
All praises to the Most High, man. Hey, don't forget, I don't know which side it's on. I think it's on this
QR
side.
code.
Donate to the Booster Club. You can also text to give if you don't have PayPal, man, to help this gospel go worldwide. Lord's will, life lasts. Will be on next Tuesday night, as the real Mattathias said on his Israel Top 5 Live. That is Wednesday, Tuesday. You know how black folk talk. Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Late night Tuesday. That's how we talk, man.
Hey, you do got to say Tuesday, because if we say Wednesday, then people
they showing up on
Thursday at 12 a.m.
No doubt about it, man. Hey, I am Captain Zakar, aka ZB Real. Make sure y'all tune in this Thursday to Casting Down Your Imaginations at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go and fight more crime, but we gonna do it during the day. That's right, 24 hours. Go ahead.
And make sure not to confuse Casting Down Imaginations with the Avengers, even though it looks similar. This is the Avengers. Casting Down Imagination is not the Avengers.
Definitely looks different. Definitely looks different
too.
We gotta get a white background now.
Make sure to tune in every Thursday.
We just keep the yellow
IUIC Tallahassee, writings on the wall. We're gonna sit it out to serve the Lord, because it's the new moon this Thursday. So all praise the Most High for that thing. And continue to support the prophets as they travel. So make sure to hit that QR code. All right, hey, signing off. Sign Christ bless.
Hey, shalom, shalom. This is the official OC. You can find me on Instagram, the official OC, on TikTok, the official OC. We have a radio show here in Orlando every Sunday at 7 p.m. The Lions Den radio show. I want to give a shout out to Captain Mattathias. He has a TV show, which a live music radio show, and the #1 video this week was KOG live out of Orlando, Florida. Hypnotized. So make sure y'all vote for that this week. Hey, when the voting go live? When the voting go live?
After the Sabbath, right after Bishop McDaniel.
That's it.
Right after the Sabbath. Maybe somebody can take them down. I don't see it happening, but we will see. Shalom.
Hey, that song is on the South Jerusalem album. That's on originalroyalty.com.
Fire.
Hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. I'm Captain Yadin. Make sure to tune in every Sunday, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, with the Bible Belt Unchained, where we get it in.
Hey, it's the Captain Azariah, AZ3 in the building. Hey, like Captain Zakar said, tune in Thursday for Casting Down Imaginations, where we will not look like the Avengers podcast show. Hey, and also, hey, make sure y'all go to originalroyalty.com. We got new apparel, new merchandise, new albums dropping. Make sure y'all supporting originalroyalty.com.
Hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. Captain Emmanuel, a.k.a. God is with us. Tune in to our radio show on YouTube at IUIC Arkansas. It's Let's Talk Truth Radio every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Pre-recorded every Friday.
Oh, man. Get his ass off the stage.
He said live.
Boy, every Friday we live.
A live pre-recording.
Hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. Cap Matt, a.k.a. 504 Matt here. Y'all can still catch Precept Upon Precept every Thursday at 9:30 Central.
You won't be on there
Standard
long.
Time.
Okay.
Technically not on there now, but you can still go watch it. You know what I mean? Right. Just go ahead and support. It's a good TV, good radio show. Got a whole bunch of stuff going on
now.
All praises.
All praises. So that's been our time here on Mic'd Up. Shalom to everybody. Start Christ bless.
We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we are dealing in hate. Brothers and sisters, for generations we've been a people living under the weight of oppression. From the days of Marcus Garvey's call for unity, to Martin Luther King's dream of freedom and equality, to Fred Hampton's unyielding fight for justice. We've been relentlessly pushed down, but we have never been broken. In these trying times, God has sent us a torchbearer to guide our path. Today, I introduce to you a beacon of hope. Bishop Nathaniel. With unwavering faith in Christ, he is here to lead the nation of Israel back to our rightful place by teaching us the sacred laws that have been our birthright and our salvation.
Christ was the truest of all revolutionaries, and each one of us have to pattern ourselves in his image.
Under his guidance, we will walk a path illuminated by the word of God, not the false promises of man. In his hands, the legacy of our past fuels a righteous and spiritual future, a future where we stand tall as children of God, as true Israelites, as free and dignified people at last.
What is a revolutionary? Well, there's two words found in the word revolutionary. Revolve, as in change. We're changing the minds of our people. We're revolting against all the lies this system has taught against us. The Bible prophesies about 144,000 true revolutionaries. And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word, his word.